The Attleboro School Committee, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, I'm giving notice that this meeting is being electronically recorded. This is a special meeting of the Attleboro School Committee, Monday, September 23rd, 2013, at 6 p.m. We have two items on our agenda on the new business. First of all, I'm going to put the motion out there, a motion to approve all forward and prior fiscal year invoices to be approved for payment by the City Council.
Second.
Thank you, Bill. Discussion.
Just as a point of interest, unless you want to cover it, Tom brought forward to the we unanimously moved from the Finance Committee to move forward to the School Committee to make this happen, so.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Ken, you want to add anything?
No. Okay, that's good.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes. We have a motion to the full committee to approve the contract of the replacement of the high school swimming pool's main drain to be awarded to New England Aquatics.
Second.
We have a second. Discussion. And Ken, I'd like you to lead this off.
Oh, yeah, only thing I'll say on this is, the reason we're meeting tonight was because we're hoping that if we approved earlier, we might get started earlier. So this will give the leeway for that in case there's any change in New England Aquatics schedule. But besides that, they were the best bid by a good amount of money. So best bid, reputable company, no reason not to award it.
Thank you, Ken. Discussion, Dave?
Just, could you just review the timetable as to what the estimated time of completion is?
I believe it was about 6 weeks out, Tom, here.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
They were talking about a 6-week schedule, which is why we're trying to meet a couple weeks earlier so that we can try to get the pool back in service as quickly as possible.
Unfortunately, with the recent email from Tom, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to start earlier, so 6 weeks from whenever.
And what is the estimated start time?
Do we have a recent update?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
Oh, no, it's okay. I think,
November 25th was the date that I had heard from the administration, so I'm wondering if that's still
Fortunately, I don't think that's going to be the time, because Tom sent an email, I think, just today. Am I right, Mike? Or,
You're right. Yep.
the way he said it will not probably be done till January. But I don't want to quote it without looking. Tom said probably start 11/25, maybe a week before if lucky. Reopen is not until 1/13/2014.
And is the delay in starting because of the schedule of the vendor, essentially?
So I don't believe they could get in any earlier. I mean, they didn't expect us to be approved till October 7th, that meeting anyway. So, yeah, it's going to be 6 weeks from when they start. Unfortunately, we can't reopen the pool either.
I still think it's in our best interest to approve this tonight. In case their schedule changes for some reason, it's up and it's approved and it's ready to go.
Yeah, we have no choice. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a choice, but why not approve it tonight since we're here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they were the winning bid. So I think the other person came over 100,000.
After this is all fixed, the pool up and running, do we have some type of a time frame with a warranty that will cover it, so should it have a problem?
I believe there was.
Shows a warranty on it. It'd probably be an RFP. I don't know off the top of my head. If you guys want to give me a few minutes, I can do this and look for the warranty.
Well, Mr. Parents, checking that, do we know what the extent of the impact of the closure is? I suspect I know at least 2 entities that are affected, but beyond that.
And they're aware of the situation of the pool, and they know that we're trying to expedite this process. But under the given circumstance, I mean, obviously, the pool just can't be used.
Right.
So,
And if the delay is pushed into January, though, I would assume that would have an impact on the high school teams as well. Was that?
it's going to have an effect on everybody that uses the pool between now and then, so.
It also has an effect on Bishop Fan because they use the pool, I think, to
Yep.
practice for their swim
Yeah,
team.
and
Okay, then I think my only request, Mr. Chairman, would be that the administration, and maybe this information has already gone to the Finance Subcommittee and hasn't come to the full committee yet, but I would request that the administration communicate to the full school committee the extent of the impact in terms of all entities that would be scheduled to be using it that are now either going to be delayed or unable to use it during any particular time period. So if that request could be conveyed to the superintendent and the business manager.
Yes, Dave, and you're right. I think a couple things to add to this is, first of all, the certified pool operator is the one in charge of making sure that the pool is conforms to the mass guidelines for the pools. And even with nobody in the pool over the last several days, it still couldn't meet it. So the pool will not be open until we can meet, these requirements that were set forward, because I think the pros of leaving the pool closed compared to the cons of having people
Yeah.
in there and catching some type of
Well,
disease for the waterway
I
far outweighs.
saw the memo from the pool inspector who said to close the pool. That's enough for me in terms of whether we keep it open or not. My only question is if the administration, in addition to communicating the closure of the pool, could communicate the full ramifications of the closure of the pool. But I am in no way advocating for opening the pool until whoever is in charge of inspecting the pool for safety says to open the pool.
Right, Dave. Yes, the administration will be notified
Okay.
tomorrow to make sure that we outreach to everybody that uses the pool, utilizes the pool in this time frame. I think we're meeting tonight to try to expedite the
Right.
process, even though we're kind of hearing that may not be possible. The contractor has a timeline to do it in, and it may not be expedited. We're hoping that by taking a vote tonight that we are able to do so. But you're right, Dave. I mean, out of respect, the Bluefish Club, Bishop Fian, and our own swim club, I mean, they've been great benefactors to the Attleboro Public Schools, and given a lot to these schools, out of the use of the pool. So that can't be taken lightly.
Right.
And we have to make sure that we notify them and keep them notified moving forward.
Right, and I don't doubt that those efforts are underway. I would just request that the administration communicate to the committee the full implications of it.
Absolutely.
However that lines up with the calendar, whoever's being affected, I think the full committee should have that information.
Absolutely. Yes, I would expect this committee and all entities to be informed every step of the way. If the process can be expedited, or if it's falling behind, or anything along the way. I mean, there's just two things that I've learned about this. I thought originally it was coming out of revolving funds, and I think Ken's going to touch on this maybe in a second, but it's going to come from leftover expenditure funds from 2013. The one thing I've talked to Jason about it, Parento, is this may not be the last thing that we're doing for the pool. We're hoping this is going to solve a lot of the problem, but there quite possibly could be other expenditures down the road after we make this one tonight, if we decide to do so. So we just need to keep that on there. We don't want to put out to the public that we're making a vote tonight and we're going to cure all. No, we're trying to make sure that we take care of what they believe is going to make the pool usable. But there could be, and possibly will be, other expenditures during the course of 2014 fiscal year to make sure that we're able to keep the pool open. And Ken, I know you were doing some background information.
Oh, yeah,
on the last
just
question.
go let Macedo know. Macedo, they, pipe and valves, main drains, accessories, a 3-year warranty, and workmanship is a 1-year. And to your point, we're going to need a filter, and a filter for the pool, which will run about $75,000 as well in the future. And if we put in a main drain and still and don't have a proper filtration system going through, that could actually do damage to the new drain because you got the junk, with the filter. So yeah, the pool needs a lot of work if we want to keep it running.
Which we do.
But it also sounded like if we could do this part now, and the filter, we could wait until next summer,
Yeah,
based on the evaluation that they did on it, so,
give us some time. We don't need to do it
yeah.
right away.
So- And I do believe all the outside entities have been informed, but we can,
No,
We can
again,
verify that,
my
so.
request is that the committee be notified as to all entities affected and all implications of closing the pool. That's the extent of my request.
that's fine.
And it doesn't seem to me that there is really we don't really have much decision-making to make tonight. We just got to take this vote as quickly as possible and get this pool fixed as quickly as possible. So I understand that the decision is a narrow one. There's no other choice. We just got to get it open. I do think, though, that it's worth pointing out that this is a situation in which it's as the governing body of the school system and the custodians of all of these buildings and grounds, we have to be mindful of having a forward-looking orientation as we try to determine what challenges we're going to face in the years ahead. We should not get to the point where we've got to close something like this. I mean, we have another large example of that we just reopened in the last few days, where if we are able to maintain that forward-looking vision to try to anticipate these issues, hopefully future school committees will not have to sit and respond to a problem. And I think that's just something that we all have to be mindful of. It's not an issue that this school committee didn't. And we've been hearing about this impending issue for quite some time, but this is an issue that goes back years. And I just think it's something we should be mindful of. There are plenty of other examples of some of the things that we should be anticipating right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Correct, Dave. Correct, yes. We have to be forward-thinking on these things like that. No doubt about that. Ken, anything else you want to add?
I have nothing else to add.
Okay, because I think, and just what I'm getting the concept of reading the minutes and stuff like that, it's an 8 or a 10-inch drain,
I think it's 8 inch.
an 8-inch, and basically it's probably down to about 2 inches now because not having proper filter system to make sure that all that built-up stuff can't get on the sides. Almost like a clogged artery, if you will.
And Drano won't work. I asked that.
Okay, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion passes. Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
You know what, though, unfortunately, this kind of thing happens. And
Yeah, but
and I agree with you.